Have you ever heard strange noises in the night and wondered where they came from? Once upon a time, nestled deep within the heart of a tranquil forest, a community of animals lived in harmony. From the agile squirrels darting between tree branches to the wise old owl perched high above, each creature had found its place in this serene woodland home. However, as the sun began to set one evening, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold, an unexpected disturbance echoed through the peaceful forest. Strange noises, unlike any they had ever heard, began to ripple through the rustling leaves and thick undergrowth. Imagine the sound of 1,000 tiny drums mixed with the melody of a flute playing a tune that's slightly off-key. It was a symphony of oddities that filled the air, causing a ripple of confusion among the inhabitants of the forest. The chipmunks paused their foraging, their tiny ears twitching, trying to pinpoint the source of the sound. The deer lifted their heads from grazing, their dark eyes wide with curiosity and a hint of fear. Even the wise old owl, known for his calm demeanor, ruffled his feathers in unease. The strange sounds seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at the same time, bouncing off the bark of the trees, echoing through the hollows, and rustling the leaves underfoot. It was a cacophony that filled the once peaceful forest with an eerie sense of anticipation. The animals, their hearts pounding in their chests, huddled together in the clearing at the heart of the forest. The foxes, rabbits, and raccoons, usually so playful and full of energy, were now quiet and still. The birds, who would usually be singing their evening songs, were silent, their colorful feathers fluffed up against the chill of fear. In the face of these mysterious sounds, the forest was no longer a place of peace, but a place of mystery and fear. The animals looked at each other, their eyes wide, their bodies tense. They huddled closer together, seeking comfort in their unity. They were united by a single question that hung in the air, as palpable as the strange sounds themselves. The animals huddled together, their eyes wide with fear, wondering what was causing these mysterious sounds. In the midst of all this fear, do you know who decided to solve this mystery? A little rabbit! Yes, you heard it right. Our brave hero is a tiny, fluffy rabbit with a heart full of courage. Despite being small and usually timid, this little rabbit was not like the others. He was adventurous and brave, and he decided to find the source of the mysterious noise that was causing such a stir in the forest. Imagine a little rabbit embarking on a big adventure. As he hopped through the forest, his small paws leaving tiny imprints on the forest floor, he encountered several of his forest friends. He met the wise old owl, the chatty squirrel, the grumpy hedgehog, and many more. Each of them expressed their fears about the strange noise that was rumbling in their peaceful home. The wise old owl, with his deep hoot, voiced his concerns. "Oh, little rabbit, be careful, the noise is unlike anything we've heard before." The chatty squirrel chittered, "It's so loud it rattles my acorns." Even the grumpy hedgehog, usually so quiet, had something to say. "It's disturbing my sleep, it's not right, I tell you." But our brave little rabbit wasn't deterred. In fact, he was even more determined. He listened to their concerns, nodded his small head, and said, "Don't worry, my friends. I will find out what is causing this noise. I will make sure our home is peaceful once again." His words, though soft, echoed with bravery and warmed the hearts of his friends. With every hop, he left behind the familiar and ventured into the unknown. The forest grew darker and the noises louder, but the little rabbit didn't let fear overcome him. He was a small rabbit with a big heart, ready to face any challenge that came his way. And so, with a determined twinkle in his eyes, the little rabbit continued his journey, ready to face whatever lay ahead. His fluffy tail bobbed as he hopped away, a tiny symbol of hope in the vast forest. He was the brave little rabbit, off to solve the mystery of the forest. Can you imagine walking alone in a dark forest filled with strange sounds? Imagine our brave little rabbit, heart-thumping but determined, embarking on a journey that would test his courage and resolve. The forest was a labyrinth, a maze of towering trees and tangled underbrush. It was a world unknown, a place where shadows danced and whispered secrets. Our rabbit, small but determined, plunged into this world with a bravery that would make the bravest of lions envious. The journey was not easy. The forest was a place of challenges and obstacles. The first was a rushing river, its waters swirling and frothing, threatening to sweep away anyone who dared to cross. But our rabbit was not deterred. With a leap and a bound, he hopped from stone to stone, defying the river's raging currents. Then came a steep hill, a towering mound of earth that seemed to touch the sky. It was a daunting sight, but our rabbit was not one to back down. With a huff and a puff, he scampered up the hill, his tiny legs pedaling as fast as they could. The climb was tough, but the view from the top was worth it. And then, there was the bear. A large, intimidating creature with a growl that echoed through the forest. But our rabbit, though small and seemingly insignificant, stood his ground. He looked the bear straight in the eye, a spark of determination shining bright. The bear, taken aback by the rabbit's courage, stepped aside, allowing our brave little hero to continue his journey. The forest was a place of trials and tests, a place where the weak faltered and the brave thrived. And our rabbit, small but mighty, proved that bravery came in all sizes. He faced every challenge head-on, his heart filled with courage and his mind set on his mission. Despite the challenges, the rabbit remained brave, knowing that he had a mystery to solve. His journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever the forest had in store for him. Can you guess what was making those strange sounds in the forest? As our courageous little rabbit ventured further, the noises grew louder and more distinct. The sounds were no longer just mysterious whispers carried by the wind. They were hoots, rhythmic and resonant. Suddenly, our brave rabbit stumbled upon an unexpected sight. Nestled in the tallest tree of the forest was a family of owls. The owls were wide awake, their eyes gleaming in the moonlight, and their hoots echoing across the forest. It was their voices that had created the mysterious sounds that had filled the forest and sparked fear among its inhabitants. Can you imagine the relief that washed over our rabbit? All this time, the source of the noise was just a family of owls singing their nocturnal songs. The rabbit could hardly believe it. It was a moment filled with relief and a dash of humor. Think about it. The entire forest had been stirred up by a family of owls. The rabbit couldn't wait to share the news. He hopped back through the forest, his heart lighter than it had been in days. As he passed by the other animals, he shared the news of his discovery. The fear that had once gripped the forest gradually began to lift. The animals, once terrified, were now filled with relief, gratitude, and a newfound appreciation for the nocturnal symphony of the owls. The mysterious sounds, once a source of fear and confusion, were now a lullaby that lulled the forest's inhabitants into peaceful sleep. The owls, unaware of the commotion they had caused, continued their hooting, their voices echoing softly through the night. And so, the mystery of the strange noises was solved, thanks to the courage of one little rabbit. A tale of bravery, mystery, and a dash of humor, all woven together in the heart of the forest. But remember, sometimes the things we fear are not as scary as they seem, especially when viewed under the gentle glow of understanding. Can you imagine how the animals celebrated when they found out they were safe? Picture a grand party under the twinkling stars where the entire forest comes alive with joy and merriment. The moon, in its full glory, casts a soft glow over the animals, dancing and singing, their hearts filled with relief and happiness. The brave little rabbit, the hero of our tale, is at the center of it all. His furry friends thank him, their eyes gleaming with admiration and gratitude. The squirrel swings from branch to branch, hooting joyously, while the deer prance around in a merry dance. The owl, the wise one, hoots a melodious song, a tribute to the rabbit's courage. The forest echoes with laughter, chatter, and the sweet symphony of celebration. It's a sight to behold, a testament to the bravery of one small rabbit. And from that day forward, the animals realize that no matter how small you are, you can still do big, brave things.